Hey, highlight Ashley comment so you can see what she said. OMG, you don't do that. Don't watch without me. Now, this is the same person who will sit down and we'll try to watch an episode. And I'm like, oh yeah, we a couple episodes behind. And she like, nah, we up to date. And we start watching the newest episode. I'm like, how we get here? Oh, you don't remember when this happened? This happened like
she up to date.
No, we up to date. If I'm up to date, you up to date. We sharing the brain. What I know, you know. Now be quiet so we can watch. So we can watch this.
Hey,
I got you, Ashley. I feel you.
What's good? What's good? What's good? Welcome everybody back to another episode of Apartment 4A. Fellas, how everything going on this week?
We're going. It's doing pretty good.
Can't complain, man.
That's good. That's good. Glad that everybody come back. I see we don't quite have everybody, just like any other apartment. Everybody ain't always there, so we're gonna keep the show rolling. We do have our one update like we've been doing these last couple of weeks. Southern Miss baseball team is officially ranked number 6.
Woo.
To the top.
Actually,
That's
5
good.
in some of the other polls, but hey, we moving up. I feel like we are posed for number 1. We're just gonna keep trending up.
Go let do it.
Oh yeah. So we officially took over the SEC, and so don't nobody in the state want to see us in baseball right now.
No,
Everybody, every time
problems,
I
man.
talk about baseball, somebody say, "What about the football team?" Well, it ain't football season yet. So
Let's focus on one thing at a time.
one thing,
Telling you, yep, take your L one season at a time.
one season at a time. All right, and I know a few people may see my little T-shirt here. Apartment 4A podcast, done by Drip and Bling Creations by Angela. Shout out to her. She's one of the viewers on the show, and I asked her, "Hey, since you've been watching, you make me a shirt." So she got me swagged out for the episode. I appreciate it. So check out on Facebook, Drip and Bling Creations.
So now, if we want a shirt, do we get some kind of discount since we are part of our 4A podcast?
I'll
That sound like a plan.
get one and find out. Let me get
See,
one and find
I'm
out.
not asking for free. I'm not asking for free. I know we have to support our business. We got to support
That's
our
right.
black owned.
That's
I
right.
just want a little discount.
There you go. There you go.
I don't
Hey,
want the hookup. I just want a little discount.
There you go. It's a difference.
It's a
I'm trying to
difference.
get that
Right.
hookup.
It is a difference.
Trying to support a little bit, you know.
Yeah, I don't want to support all the way. I want to
Yeah,
support, but
Yeah.
I don't want retail support. I want wholesale support.
I
There
feel
you go. There you go. I mean, we
I
trying
feel
to
you,
get a bucket
Terrence.
shirt.
Exactly.
I feel you, man.
I feel you. I totally understand.
We got
So,
COVID,
Angela, if you're watching now,
war times.
man,
I was just saying, we got COVID and war times, man. I feel you. Save them dollars, man.
yeah, gotta save them. Gas prices
Never.
are arm and leg right now, so you gotta save them when you can. You gotta take out a loan and fill up a Tahoe.
Hey, time to ride them Nikes, man.
Or buy a horse.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
I know a lot of folks who have their vehicle parked right now because of those gas prices.
Hey, I'll be trying to park mine as much as possible.
I know. Well, Miss Angela, if you are watching, everybody likes your shirt, so we may be in touch with you. We had to check with Mr. Jonathan. I know he had a shirt press at one time. I don't want to act like we ain't supporting the guy.
He gonna jump on just to cuss us out and then go and get off.
Exactly.
We'll make sure he ain't still making shirts before we do that. All right, let's get to the meat of today's conversation. Today, we're talking about the effects of the internet and streaming service on the music industry. We know if you think about what music is and how it affects, especially us being African American, it rides with us from the beginning of time. We listen to it any way we can, whether it's at church, on the elevator, riding in the car, part of music, videos, watching ESPN, Super Bowl. Music is everywhere. And everything. I mean, even in our intro, we got a little song. So everything that we do everything surrounding us has some type of music in it. You know, we started all the way down to the vinyl record, made our way up to the 8-track, cassette tapes, CDs, MP3s. Now we on these streaming services. So, fellas, what say ye? How has the internet affect the music industry?
I realized that how much it affected the music industry when I was I came across my that big old black case of CDs, the CDs you used to carry around. I mean, I had like a little booklet, and I remember how I put a lot of money into the. I mean, like $10, $15 every other week, and that's on that's just on a regular, and all those songs that I had, and it was pull a CD out, put another one in, and I was looking at how much I was spending on streaming my $10 a month for Apple Music. Come on, Apple. And I realized I have access to so much other stuff, artists that I probably would never get a chance to listen to. I never would listen to. I can go back and listen to old stuff. Um, and I thought for a minute, like, are they? How is the industry surviving from this? But then you see how they billions of people listen to it over and over, and they get even though pennies adds up. So it changed. I know it changed my palette of music a lot. I can try to
Yeah,
bang anything out now.
yeah. I think as far as like how the record labels making money and stuff, really that's like a totally different stream of revenue for them. Besides all the, think about all the ads and the marketing and stuff that they're getting the royalties off of these songs. I mean, the internet's giving them so many ways to make money. It's crazy. 'Cause like if you think about it, every streaming app is paying them. Like big, little, you got satellite radio stations and the artists are still out there touring off that stuff too. They getting they cut, they making their money. And now they got even more artists. It ain't just like you got like one big act like it used to be.
Yeah, it's just crazy, man. And the question I have, and I guess I have to do a little more research, is who's really making the money? Is it the artist? Is it the record label? Is it the person who has the rights to those music? Is a lot of royalties, or where's that money going?
It ain't going to the artist. Not
Right.
unless you're on one of those smaller platforms like Tidal or Deezer or something like that.
So that's the thing. So, is it really helping? It's helping us as consumers, but is it really helping the music industry in the long run? I read this report today. I think they did it back, might have did it in 2016 or 18, but when streaming services really got started right around 2013 with the, well, not really streaming services, when MP3s and iTunes came out, and they were looking at the bootlegs, piracy and everything. And they were saying that it went down almost 10% immediately as soon as MP3s and iTunes started coming out. That people basically, they stopped burning CDs. They were like, hey man, I don't need to buy no bootleg CD. I got all this music right here on my iPod or my MP3 player. And so, but at the same time, now you ain't burning CDs, but now you got, YouTube that you can ride to. You got, Apple Music, iTunes, you got YouTube Music, Amazon Music, and I know you pay for those services, but you think about it, you paying $4.99, $6. I know it's millions of people, but how much money is really being made?
You know what? I think I can't just thinking about the video streaming services like Netflix and all those other things. There's a whole lot of money being made, and I think there's more money for artists for artists. So I don't think everybody is like I think it's being spread out a whole lot more, because once because you have access to so many different people, and then once they are somewhat known compared to how it used to be, we have to give an arm and two legs just to get your name out there. But now you can put a video on YouTube and you can blow up. You can really I don't think they're getting a lot of the money from the streaming, but I think once they are acknowledged from the streaming or getting recognized from the streaming, they have all those different other avenues to get money. I think the streaming the platform, they're the one who's getting probably 80% of that of everything, but that 20% is going to those artists and everybody else. But as it's going to them, I think it's giving them more avenue to make money, and they are and being able to be recognized a lot more.
So it says on this report from reviews.com said that Spotify pays between 0.003 cents and 0.005 per stream. And so, you know, if you're one of those artists, if you're not one of the most popular artists, you're not really getting that much. But like you said, you know, it gives you the opportunity to actually get out there. I think YouTube kind of does that too. Because you see a lot of artists, you see those different videos that make you go, you know, let me check out his actual album. You know, sometimes I've done this, even though you can stream some, I've actually went and said, I'm gonna go ahead and buy the album just to support that guy because, hey, you know, I ain't going to buy the CD, you know, so.
Yeah, you're right about that.
I don't buy the album. I don't go that far. Right? You good one. What I do is I'll play it on repeat quite often, even if I'm not listening to it. I just have it running in the background just so I can support them that way. I'm already paying my $10 a month. I'm not as good as Rod. I ain't gonna give another 10.
But it's the small artists. I ain't talking about like, you know, somebody who's been out on the radio, you know, they CD come out, you buy it, or they album come out, you know, they charge you a regular $15 to $24. But like somebody who first album, they small trying to get out there, man, it'd be like $4-5. It don't be much, man. It'd be real
I can see that.
Who's
paying $24 for an album nowadays though?
I think it depends on the album, depending on the artist. I mean,
I don't know. They smoking cocaine, crack rocks.
But then again, Kanye got a strong though. Kanye know what he's doing though. For some odd reason, he is.
Have you seen what his album come on?
On his own platform?
No, on the device that it comes on. Like he don't send a disc. He send an actual little player that lets you like kind of remix the songs on the album. So you
I heard about that. I heard about that, but I heard it was like $200 though.
Yeah, but so, but I'm saying like as far as like how Kanye staying relevant and kind of like mapping out the future again, like that device pretty dope. Like you can go viral just by putting on one on the your social media or whatever and playing with it.
And then also he has his own streaming platform. So I think for all his new stuff, at least some of it, you can only get it from that platform.
Oh, I didn't know he had a platform. What's the name?
But that's what I heard. I heard he was that. I didn't listen to Thunder 2. That's probably why, because I heard you can only listen to it on that platform.
No, that's on YouTube Music.
Yeah, YouTube. You can get anything on YouTube though.
No, not YouTube. YouTube Music. It used to be Google Play Music.
They have it. It didn't come on. My thing is, I'm Apple Music, but it's not on Apple.
Yeah, it'd be like that sometimes.
Yeah. I mean, you know.
Yeah. Y'all don't get everything.
And if I don't get it, I'm not gonna spend no extra $24 to get it. So
yeah, you ain't got no extra 24 because you're on Apple. Oh, they taxing, man.
Yeah, because it's 10 now. Yeah, because YouTube Music, that's what I have. It ain't but $4.99. So.
Yeah.
But everybody watching, all I guess, if you know, how do you feel the internet and streaming services affecting the music industry? Please put in your comments. We'd love to see what you think. One of the things we want to think about, man, is so here's something that's solely on the internet and has really kind of changed the way we've done music. Think about these versus battles, man. It's all internet based.
Yep.
It's all streaming, and for a lot of us, it's just nostalgia. You know, it's artists that we ain't listened to in a while. That every now and then we hear one of their old school jams on the radio, and boom, next thing we know, the verses are here, and I'm flipping through an album or two on one of these streaming servers. Like, yeah, man, I remember this. You know, riding down 2005, 2006, some even 1999. You know, listen to their music. So. Do you think versus has been good, especially for hip hop?
I think it's been amazing for P. Diddy, him and Ciroc. But I think it has been good for hip hop because if a lot of people you haven't probably listened to, had no desire to listen to, but when you hear them get on verses and you say, okay, let me go back and listen to some of this. When you see Crazy Bone, you try to get in the fight with 3 6 Mafia, you're like, I remember. I see why they call him Crazy Bone.
Oh no, I don't think verses did this for hip hop because they wasn't all hip hop verses, right? The only hip hop people that's been on there is kind of like people that ain't got no relatives. So
they're trying to reestablish themselves.
Yeah, so unless you talk about like classic hip hop, like old school, because them dudes been on there, but outside of them, like
so when you say hip hop, you're not saying rap included. You saying strictly.
I'm saying if you like a hip hop dude, like them guys been on there, but the new dudes ain't been on there. The new rappers, they ain't been impacted by that.
Well, no, not the new rappers. Nobody. I mean, the one thing about verses, unless you just an awesome lyricist, like you can't get on verses and rap some new stuff. Nobody want to hear that. They come to. That's already.
They gotta be new. This is somebody who's born.
But the thing about verses is the whole ideal is for those great artists back then to battle each other. So it's not about I don't think any new artist done a versus, have they?
No.
Anybody in the past 10 years done a versus? Who's been relevant in the last 10 years?
I mean, Soulja Boy. That's about it.
I'm pretty sure he had 11 years. He had the year 11 right now.
He had a high song. Yeah, he'd have had. So he one of them dudes where it's like you'll hear stuff you don't even know he did it because he started talking about songs on the verse. I'm like, oh, that was him. Oh dang. Okay.
Well, that's Soulja Boy make a lot of music himself. I mean, he just makes a lot of music and beats and stuff. So he kind of get around with producing and making music and stuff like that. So you never know. Yeah, and verses like that is kind of hard because like if Neo did a verses, I mean, he wrote a lot of songs for other people.
Yeah, you
like
about to.
Yeah. He could pull out songs you be like, but that ain't Neo's song, but he wrote it.
Exactly. He getting them chicks, that mailbox money over.
Yeah. But I think verses has been good, man. I think it's one of those things that does give you kind of a nostalgia part about it. I think it, like Terrence was saying, it makes you kind of want to listen to that music. Even Mike in the comments here, so, he didn't really listen to Lokes or Dipset back in the Gap, but after that he went back and gave a listen to him. Now I think that's what it does, man. It may open your eyes to something that you didn't do before. And my thing is, I think it also introduced some of the younger cast of music that we listened to back then.
Yeah, that's possible.
And so back then, man, they don't, a lot of times don't nobody introduce to them, they don't go back and listen to it. I mean, it's the same way the music that we listen to, that our parents listened to, was stuff that they were listening to around us. We didn't too often go back and grab the whole OJ's album or the whole Temptation album. Not often. I mean,
unless there was a fly sample that Kanye did. I'm like, goodness, where this come from? I go back to sound.
I'm telling you,
the whole album.
That would have sampled the whole generation, cuz.
Yeah, he did. He made everybody.
I'm telling you,
pull out the 8 track.
Yeah.
So that's the thing, man. I think that's just what it is. Another thing that's on YouTube that I don't know if a lot of people have been watching, but for me, I've been watching them. It's called the Tiny Desk concerts.
Oh yeah, I watch.
Yeah, that's hot.
Man, that's been some good music, man, across the board. Not just hip hop, just music across the board. And man, I really enjoyed that. My favorite Tiny Desk, I don't know if y'all have one. My favorite one has been by Toby Nwigwe. Houston, Texas rapper. He got that old school chop and screw kind of flow. I'm all up in that.
He got like the Texas chop and screw side and like an Andre 3000.
Yeah, because he got really good lyrics.
Yeah,
Houston.
Like he's awesome storyteller.
Houston rapper never was a great storyteller, but they had great music. They had great music. No hate, they had great music. Everybody got a couple chop and screw songs on their page.
Man, Houston rappers did have some good lyrics. All of them weren't great. Just like everybody in hip hop ain't great, but there was some like Chameleon. If he wanted to get down to it, he could, man. He just when he went
Oh, yeah.
mainstream, he was trying to make popular music instead of just making his music.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I think the Tiny Desk has been good, man. I think Tiny Desk, even for those artists who hadn't done something or trying to get back relevant, if they would do one, it'll probably put them back into a little groove, man.
Hey, we gonna find out because Patti LaBelle did one recently.
Yeah, I haven't watched it, but I heard it was pretty good.
It was terrible.
I'm trying to come
It was terrible. Yes, it was terrible.
Because she didn't do a Tiny Desk for real. She like a whole concert just on the Tiny Desk platform.
Hey, it was a concert, but the singing was like karaoke, cuz.
That's all bad.
Patty was struggling. But my favorite is by Yebba and by Jasmine Sullivan.
Yeah, Jasmine was hot. Yeah. T-Pain showed out.
I was just about to say that T-Pain
showed out. I said that fella can sing. Yeah, I really can't sing.
T-Pain.
Me too. I had to catch. I had to jump in there for him trying to get it.
Yeah, the Roos, the one the Roos did was cool too, and Erykah Badu.
Mike said Adele had a nice Tiny Desk too, so I might have to check hers out.
I ain't watch it. I've been all Adele out for like 10 years.
Hey man, you know, her heart been broken, man. You got to get all them feelings.
Her heart hasn't been broken. Her bank account been broken. Got all that money from her.
Will that make you cry too?
Yeah, you're right.
That had you singing some sad songs too.
That fella then got me.
Out there hollering in the mic.
So with YouTube, with stuff like these streaming services, do you feel like it's easier to put yourself out there?
Definitely.
But really, is it though? Because the thing 100%. is, you can put yourself on the platform, but how do you be seen?
So with YouTube, you can kind of cater to the algorithm. There are different techniques you can use. You can spend a little money and get some views, because YouTube is kind of like they try to make it not a popularity contest, but it really is, right? If your video got a bunch of views on it, a bunch of thumbs up, that legitimizes the video. So you can, they got whole marketing teams that'll do that for you, like upload it, make sure that all your tags cater to the algorithm and all that stuff. Versus if you think about when we was growing up, the gatekeeping to being able to put a person in front of the whole country, it was the DJ, it was the radio station or a TV station. Basically, like one of them two had to sign off on you, and then somebody had to pay some money to boost you up to even get you seen by the radio station or the TV station. And then the last hope was a magazine, like maybe.
So, and I agree with that, but if you think about it, I mean,
like if you want to be seen, you could be dope. But if you want to be seen right now, 20 years ago, you was just hoping and dreaming. Now you pull out your phone and you put yourself in front of hundreds of millions of people for like no cost. And you can do it every day if you want to for no cost.
True, but I think it's still, even though it's digital, it still takes some pushing on your behalf. Because every up and coming artist don't have those funds to pay for your ad to get out there or to pay somebody to help you do that. So you got to kind of rely on, you still got to push it a little bit. You still got to get, hey man, go watch my video, like it, share it, so I can get some.
But ain't nobody actively stopping you from doing that though. Like that's before.
But I see it as, yes, it's easy to get out there, but it's so because there's so much stuff out there, it's so watered down. As in, you probably come across somebody who was fire, but you watch the next video, somebody else is even hotter, and you completely forgot about the other person.
Yeah.
It's like so many times you probably saw. I mean, you just saw so much stuff. You see so much stuff. It's like it's hard for anything to really catch your attention now because everything is just thrown at you.
And so I asked that question because I was in Walmart 2 weeks ago buying a baseball bat, and me and this other man was on the baseball island, and this little dude just kind of jumped out of nowhere. He was like, "Hey man, I'm gonna buy my CDs." Stuck it out there, and I was like, "People still put CDs?
How much you pay for this? You losing money."
What am I gonna play this on?
I gotta find me a CD player. I bought me a new vehicle. I don't know where this came from. I bought me a new vehicle, and it was a 2020. And they were so excited about showing me the feature of a CD player. They said, "And guess what? You got a CD player." I said, "What?
Hey,
I don't have any
that's
CDs."
vintage,
They said, "Thank you for the CD player, but I don't have any CDs."
hey, that's vintage, cuz.
And they was excited about this CD player.
That's hilarious, man. Yeah, man. But so my thing is, if you look at the number of artists that have become famous and have careers that did not go through a label, that number has shot up drastically.
Yeah, that's true.
Which means the gatekeepers and the limitations on who is seen and who is not has isn't completely like there's not it's not like there's no barrier, but that barrier has been significantly lowered to where a lot more people have visibility and platforms and opportunities. Like even if you get like a little small following on YouTube and you leverage that into some sort of like advertising, because at the end of the day, if an artist can be hot in one area, and if he can get 500 people to buy tickets to his show for $30, he eating. So now he can say not technically he can support himself and have an actual career doing something he love, even though he ain't blow up or all of that stuff.
Well, here's my thing with the internet. Even though you can put yourself out there and maybe even be found, but I feel like it's just giving us more and more one-hit wonders. I feel like you get out there, get a hot song, maybe two, and then that's it. And, I don't see you no more.
So what are you considering? That's what I was saying. Like the if you want to make a living doing music, you have so many more opportunities now because to be honest, you don't have to be amigos to be able to take care of yourself making music. Like I was saying, you can have a couple local followings and do shows and do features and it's the internet. So now you got the opportunity to do features for people a lot quicker than you used to because you can record yours and just shoot it over to them later. Like your ability to your opportunities with the existence of the internet have only gone up versus having to make it.
But do you think they really are? I can't say making a living off it, or are they really successful? Even though it's probably heard everywhere, but are they really making? Is that they living? Is that their main source of income?
So I mean, it could be because if you stay in a major city, like we stay in Huntsville, and it's a little over 200,000 people here, and there are people that I know personally that are musicians that make a living just in this city doing music. They might like shoot down to Birmingham or up to Nashville or something occasionally, but if you compare that to probably what they would be doing, which is something that make $30,000 a year or less, depending on how driven they are with their music, then at that point, they really they able to take care of themselves as far as their lifestyle go.
But I think that's the definition of an artist anyway, in some form, some fashion, like a DJ artist, and it's like I think they was always able to do those little local shows and still do a follow around, jump on somebody as a cover artist, as a lead artist, and be okay with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the thing is, if like you're not using YouTube to go beyond just your local area, I mean, to me, it really ain't no different. You going out there pushing yourself.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of bands around. I mean, I know a lot of bands that play in their local areas or within like a 3-mile radius. They play every weekend. And it's like,
they play Friday, Saturday night at a club, and they play Sunday at the church.
Yeah, and it's true. They do. And so I don't really see, I guess even with streaming, like I was saying, I still feel like you still have to push yourself and get yourself out there to make yourself a bigger artist. It's one of those things where, it ain't just I put it on YouTube and Man and Fresh found me. It's got to be.
Well, yeah. I mean, that was never really the argument. It was, whether or not, the internet has been good or bad for them, right?
Yeah, so I mean, in that case, good, but I think the pushing hadn't stopped. I think it's just
the work don't go away. It's just the number of opportunities where your work can show up has gone up because of the internet.
yes, the opportunity has gone up, but I think Terrence even brought this up too. And I'm gonna get to a comment in a second. But because so many people can do it, is it really easy? Because before, if you were pushing CDs, if you was getting out there trying to grind, only so many people got the heart to go out there, push CDs, knock on doors, do whatever, trying to get their stuff on the radio, whatever.
Everybody was a
Yeah.
Master P and
Right.
Ice T.
Yeah, everybody wasn't rich from lucrative drug sales and whatnot.
Ain't got nothing to do with that.
General thuggery,
How you got the money in the beginning of your business. But once you but like if everybody can put a song out there, no matter whether it's good or not, it's like, man, I gotta get my stuff through all the stuff. It's like, man, I got a 5 verse, but I gotta get it past all these other people who put out garbage.
Yeah, I mean,
the garbage people have all those algorithms, and they have all them different views. And I'm like, this thing got 1 million views. It gotta be good. And I started watching. I'm like, why am I wasting my time watching this? And I see the one with 500 views. I'm like, I can't watch that. It's garbage. Only 500 people watch that.
I will say,
exactly.
People share bad music quicker than they share good music.
Hey,
everybody needs to laugh. Talk about it.
Everybody needs to laugh.
What was that fella Afro Man?
Hey,
we pushed that fella hard. I know you didn't love him because he was great. You loved him because it was stupid.
Crazy. He was crazy. Man.
And you knew every word because it was stupid. And I would have paid money to go watch him at the downtown Hattiesburg because I knew every single word to his song. I'm pretty sure he only had 2 songs, and I can only think of one. Because
So Mike had a good question. What do y'all think about songs blowing up from TikTok? Kevin Gates had a song in 2012 that just made it to the Billboard charts in 2022 because people use the song in TikTok videos.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, another opportunity, man. For the internet wouldn't exist.
I will say I give you that on TikTok because I scroll through TikTok. I drop down that rabbit hole sometimes, and I come across artists, and I be like, "Man, let me go see if I can find some other stuff this person done did."
Exactly.
Especially when it comes to covers. Like I think about a month or so ago, that for our song,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people doing covers, but there was this white guy that did a cover, man. It was really, really good, and I was like, man, I gotta go find some more stuff from him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. I mean, I think TikTok is kind of that for like video, and for whatever reason, for music, it's like a gold mine right now because you got so many people. It's really like a scarily efficient app at presenting you a lot of information in like whatever time you're on there.
A very short period of time.
Like, and then usually you'll go down like that rabbit hole you're talking about, and you on there for 10, 15 minutes. You'd have probably seen a couple hundred videos in that time.
You said rabbit hole 10, 15 minutes. You mean rabbit hole hour or two, and you realize, wow, I just wasted an hour of my life. And you try to put it down, but you can't put it down because maybe get a little bit better. Maybe I'll learn something in the next. Nope. Maybe no.
Sound like the words of a man who don't have a toddler.
Yeah.
Because
my kids on TikTok too, so I guess we all TikTok together. At least one of them, my bad.
They got you.
Karen said we were pushing JJ Ice Vision. People was though, man. We were sharing the crap out of that bad stuff.
Hey man,
who is JJ Ice Fish?
No, just YouTube one.
Yeah, one time you know what we talking about. Talking about the epitome of share something out of pure comedy.
That's it. Terrible songs, but we were doing it, man.
Hey man.
But TikTok's a good place to get some good stuff. So anybody in the comments or even y'all, I think we talked about this before we got on. Is there anybody that you found on YouTube or found on Facebook or wherever, any streaming services that wasn't traditional music place, that you was like, man, me look up some stuff and maybe listen to an album or two?
So does like a streaming app count?
Streaming app count, I mean, if it was music, but I was trying to find somebody that you found that wasn't necessarily like on YouTube Music or Apple Music, Amazon Music. Maybe you was,
like a real small artist.
You know what? A lot of people who I fell in love with, I will listen to Pandora, and it just popped up on there. I never heard it before, and once I got that one, I went and found the album on Apple Music, and I got every single album and been going through it. Jeremy Passion, really good artist. It popped up on Pandora. I don't listen to Pandora anymore. That's so so that was a while back. But just like then, of course, once you find him, you'll find artists similar to him that you don't know. And just I built my repertoire of good R&B from that one artist.
You said the magic word for the day, R&B. We're gonna come back to that in a second. One of the pieces I found, and we talked about him a little bit, Eric, was Akeem Thomas.
Kimi Casanova. Oh yeah.
And so I found out about him on Facebook because Dandria from Hattiesburg that we met down here in Hattiesburg, she was one of Soror's head Southern Miss. She was his high school teacher, and so she shared a video that he put out. And I was
okay.
And so that's how I got into him. You know, I hadn't heard of him, had anything. She was like, "Hey, yeah, one of my former students making music. Just check it out." And sent me that first Creamy Casanova video, and I was like, "Dude, this dude kind of cool." But since then, he's been doing like YouTube or TikTok freestyles. I don't know if you've seen him, Eric.
Yeah. I've seen him. So I first saw him. I guess it's a little behind the 8 ball, but I first saw him when he did an 85 South show. He did the freestyle on there, like that, just like hands down. I was like, my goodness, this dude is crazy. I got to find out where he from. Then found out he was from Jackson, and it was over there. And it's like, oh, he from the SIP. Let's go. So anything he put out, I'm all over it.
Okay, Mike, I see you say you sang Lemonade from Jeremy Passion to my wife at our reception. Okay.
Come on now.
Mike trying to show us up, man. Yeah. Chill out, bro. Chill out, man. Chill.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's crazy, man. You know, you might come across some artists that's wild, but Taz, you said one thing or one genre that made me really think about streaming service. That's R&B. I feel like, especially since streaming versions went live, I hadn't seen a very good representation of R&B music.
You say you hadn't?
That's pretty.
You mean like on the major streaming services?
Or let me take it back. New R&B music. Of course, there's plenty of music that was already made prior to the streaming services, but since streaming services have gone live and kind of taken over the music stream, I hadn't seen many R&B artists, new R&B music kind of out there.
Daniel Caesar blessed my heart when I believe I found him from Jump Down the Rabbit Hole, but Daniel Caesar is fly, but he's not good anymore. He kind of getting kind of out there in the world.
Yeah, I mean, you have R&B people, but it's not like classic R&B. It's like almost everything like rap. Like a lot of stuff is like real close, a lot closer to pop now than it used to be. And so like you have, I mean, the women been killing it. You think about her, you think about
they start off killing it, and then they start
go pop
themselves. Yeah, they go very pop and hardcore rap, and that's what it feels like.
But yeah, man, even like the neo soul chicks, like what's the girl name? Like the kind of scissor style chicks that we had pop up here recently. That's like Summer Walker and what's the chick? She was on Hotels with Jasmine Sullivan. Or Jasmine Sullivan, you know. I mean, yeah, Giveon is another guy that's been.
I might check Giveon now. I hadn't heard of him, but
yeah,
I mean, I
guess
that's kind of the thing.
Yeah, you done heard him. Drake put him out there.
No, I ain't heard him.
I guarantee. I guarantee you heard the song.
Yeah, you heard the song before.
Yeah. Like it's
What
not his
song?
song, but it's a song he featured on. So you know his voice. He got a real distinct voice.
Oh, okay. 'Cause
Yeah.
ain't got no
You done heard him
motherfucking-
sample not sample, but featured on some stuff.
I mean, it had to be something like that, cause
Yeah.
so with
Ari
Yeah.
Lennox. That's the chick name. My bad. But Charles got it. No, Charles put it in the chat. Ari Lennox. But yeah, they like I said, the ladies been holding it down on the singing tip.
They
This is the
start off
dudes,
holding it
man.
down, then they just start
Well, I
getting
mean,
away
like
from that original.
they visible. I put
Soul.
it like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
They visible.
And Mike said, I think they go pop because pop style music gets playtime on apps like TikTok, which ends up exposing more people to your music. I can see
Yeah.
that.
Hey, it's all about the money.
Got to
Nah,
keep those likes and those views.
You
So
gotta pay
here's
them
the
record
question.
labels back.
And especially in our generation, we have kind of grown with technology. Realistically, we were the first group of kids to have the in-home computers, and we grew with the CDs and MP3 players, and now cell phones, such and such on. And now we got these streaming. Do you think there's gonna come a time where the music and the advancement of that music, especially with technology, passes us? So, for example, like Miles and Dad, they were cassette tapes, 8 tracks, and when CDs came out, they wasn't really on it. They really MP3s. They like forget that and forget the streaming from my phone. They ain't trying to do all that.
Yes. I say yes, but not in a way you might think, because the technology that's going to change is not going to be the hardware; it's going to be the software. So, like whatever the latest app is, like you think about it, like right now, you don't think about it, you don't hear about it a lot. Snapchat like the most used app in America, even though nobody really talks about it. All you hear about is Facebook and Instagram and TikTok, but Snapchat is killing it. I can't use Snapchat to save my life. It don't make no sense. It's a terrible UI. It's a terrible UX, terribly designed. It's super, like you have to know exactly how to do everything.
Every single thing.
Let me try to swipe this way. What does this mean? Like, I don't know. I just see pictures. Like, but that'll be the thing that stops you in the future.
And it'll stop you in the future because they're gonna start building a whole lot more things from that because it's so popular. And if you don't know that, you won't know the other thing.
Mm-hmm.
I try my best to understand Snapchat. Because I have a daughter who loves it and she's always on it. So you have to know what they're doing. And then B, I worked at a high school, and for the first year and a half, I had no idea what my eyes only was. And then I'm in there trying to get some evidence. And they said, give me your password. They said, I don't remember it. They say, hold on, I don't remember it. Let me get it real quick. And they click on the forgot my password. And when they do that, it wipes out all the pictures in there. Or they say, let me try this. I said, and then they'll put it in 3 times. It wipes out all the information in there. So what we learned, because the first year and a half, I had no idea what any of that stuff was. And after I learned from people a little bit younger than me, I understand it a little bit better. But I'm 2 years behind, so I can only imagine what new tricks they have with it now.
Oh yeah, it's ridiculous.
It's funny. Mike brought up something that we used to use all the time. LimeWire had our computers coughing. LimeWire and Napster. I mean, I remember. You think about it back in the day when we first got our computers in. Mom was like, "Don't be downloading that stuff on the computer. That's all I need." Man, Terrence me and Terrence were bootleg dude. We made CDs for everybody at the school.
The same here.
Straight hustle.
I was one of the few kids that had the dual burners. I can make a direct copy of a CD. It was over because
so we were bootlegging and mamas and dads didn't understand what we were doing, that we were straight stealing music from artists and now thieving. Like talk about Terrence with the eyes only and other apps, it just kind of changed, and it just everything is kind of changing for us, I guess, against us now that we're kind of in that same position.
Yep.
But sticking with the music, do you think OnlyFans has an effect on the music industry?
If it does, I can't make the connection.
You know what? It doesn't, as in it is they are able to supplement their incomes. The artists are very able to supplement their incomes because you can. They a lot of them. What I didn't realize, a lot of them have fans only accounts where they only certain people get access to certain things about them, and I'm pretty sure they have other accounts that only other people who pay this amount of money get you have access to. And you know, the more secretive you are about those with those accounts, the more you can charge. And because you charging so much, people are not going to share that information. They're going to keep it to themselves because they feel like they are the ones in that little small circle. But it's amazing how many artists have those accounts.
I feel like we're moving towards that with a lot of artists going, instead of putting out music and letting it go to streaming services, they're getting such a small portion of it. Is, well, I'm just gonna put new music or do new songs on OnlyFans or apps like OnlyFans, where if you want to hear my new stuff, you gotta subscribe to this, or like Kanye did, you gotta have this device to make it work. Well, or I know he got it on YouTube Music now, but you know, just in general.
Yeah.
And the name
Or
of his
even
platform
Patreon.
is Pink Villa.
Oh,
That's the name of his streaming app, his streaming platform.
okay. But but I will say, like, I'm sure they do, like, so I was thinking about the Will Smith thing, not recently, but just thinking about him like being banned from the Oscars and what happens if nobody wants to make a movie with him. He can literally just pick up his phone, hold it in front of his face, and 14 million people gonna watch. Whatever
They
he
say
do.
his movie offers has shot up since then.
I bet being able to market him in the movie. I mean, he's still Will Smith, and so thinking about that with an artist, you know, being able to just pick up your phone and, you know, if you do the marketing right, even on YouTube, they have something called Patreon. That's kind of the popular platform for people to make extra money doing. Like once you get like a little following, it don't have to be a lot. You just get, you know, some loyal people that's paying you every month. I mean,
just think of somebody like, you know, the Migos or Jay-Z or
exactly.
anybody decided, hey, you know, I don't want to go through nobody. I'm just gonna get on here. I'm gonna do this makeshift concert. But if you want to see it one time only, we're not recording it. We're not gonna allow you to record it, but it's gonna be, you know, $25-$40 a person to log on.
Oh yeah, man. Nice little that's how you do like an intimate concert.
Yeah.
The modern day pay-per-view, right?
And the internet killed the pay-per-view. I mean,
you
won't even get into streaming services with TV and movies because
they get any money.
Yeah. I don't know how UFC still doing it.
Bro, I be scrolling on TikTok. People be live streaming all the UFC stuff straight on TikTok. Like, dang, I'm not about to sit here.
Hey man, pay attention to the road. You drive.
I'm telling you.
Man, look, man. Hey, guy. First of all, what's good, man?
What I do,
man? Shoot, man. Sit up here. We just got through. We started spring ball yesterday, and man, you know, we getting out late, and also not only got to coach them, you got to take them home. Then you got to go and feed them. Then you got to. But I'm here. I'm sorry I'm late. Don't fire me yet.
I thought Wednesday was an off day. I thought Wednesday was an off day. I thought Wednesday was an off day where you can't do any kind of sports after school sports on Wednesday. At least down there in the Hattiesburg, that's that way.
Man, we at Golden Triangle where football is like next to, you got football God and you know, they understand the football religion up here, so
football God and women is in their order.
Follow closely by football
again. Follow real closely again by football.
So I have a question for you, JP. Since you're on, when y'all having spring practice, y'all doing drills or whatever, are y'all listening to music?
All right, here's the catch-22. We were listening to music, but we had a lot of, we're a city school, so I had a lot of parents, a lot of elderly people calling me complaining. So the police kept coming out there telling them to cut the music down, and the music wasn't down. But so one day we played a different brand or different genre of music, and we blasted it, and we didn't get the phone calls that we've been getting. So, make a long story short, what I said was, it'll be all right. Just let them, we just cut it off. And ever since we stopped cutting it off outside, we actually been having better practices. But we listen to it in the weight room though. We have different days, like Monday be blues days, Tuesday be rap, Wednesday R&B, and Thursday we got this thing called a leadership council, and we let whoever had a great week, we let them have their music when we fellowship.
Okay. So when y'all listen to this music, how do y'all typically look? I can't believe y'all got these children listen to blues. But anyway, how do y'all listen to the music? Y'all using MP3 players? Y'all streaming? Y'all got CDs? How y'all playing?
Well, you know how tech savvy I am. We do Bluetooth. So we just Bluetooth, we stream it, we put on Pandora. Some of the kids use YouTube. They use the YouTube, they had a YouTube playlist, but we mostly put it on, I put most of my stuff on Pandora and just let it roll. I also let my little girl, sometimes she tell me what to play and what not to play.
Mike say R&B while doing squats. That's hilarious. LaTron, some country kids love the blues.
Hey, look, I'm glad you said that. We're talking about the squats and R&B. Like, we was talking in our text the other day about R. Kelly. And, so anyway, long story short, R. Kelly Feeling on Your Booty came on. And we and we was just squatting, and it made some very uncomfortable conversations go on that day. So they finished the squat, they finished the lift, but we saw a different side. I saw a different side of them boys then.
So they scarred for life, huh?
For life. Scarred
oh no,
life.
I saw a lot of true personalities as well.
Man, that's hilarious, man. These boys in there 200 plus pounds. I mean, I guess some of them might be 180, but 180 to 300 pounds, they in there singing to each other while they lifting weights.
Right, when I ran with it, huh?
But now you said something, and so I have a question because you brought his name up. I'm surprised that y'all will listen to Pandora and the R. Kelly song came up. Now,
yes.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
So we know the whole situation with R. Kelly. We don't have to go through that. But and supposedly he's been counseled. And if he's counseled, stuff is supposed to be kind of white. But Pandora's still playing R. Kelly. I know you can look up R. Kelly on YouTube Music if I'm not mistaken. I'm not sure about Apple Music.
But I know for a fact, and this probably been a month ago, R. Kelly was still growing through my Pandora. So I don't know, but before all this scandal came up, I used to like his songs. I say he used to, he made good music, but yeah, that's what we had.
Yeah, but now with the internet and the music that we have today, has the cancel culture changed or hurt the music industry?
You say the council?
R. Kelly's still on Apple Music. You can reach you at Chocolate Factory and at TP2.
So has cancel culture hurt or affected the music industry?
I would say not really. I think that as far as us musically, it hadn't hurt us because R. Kelly they've been on his ass since the 90s. So that ain't nothing new. But just generally, you look at like a lot of the results of the cancel culture type stuff. It's usually like personal stuff. Like, look, they try to cancel the baby. It didn't work because he kind of got that persona where like, yeah, I'm gonna do outlandish stuff. That's why my folks like me. So outside of that, I mean,
that fella went on an apology tour. He went he apologized to everybody and anybody who would listen to him.
Hey, it don't matter because everybody know that he'll slap and or shoot somebody on sight because he did it 3 times.
He shot that guy. The dude was gonna kill him. It was shooting
the baby.
What about the other
baby?
Oh, the baby.
Yeah.
What about the other 2 folks he shot?
I don't know about the other 2.
He ain't got nothing. He was slapping folks before Will Smith. We know that to be true.
So
but
go ahead, JP.
No, go ahead. I was just gonna say, yeah, he was slapping folks for Will Smith, but Will Smith, there's no ultimate slap like the Will Smith slap. I mean, he's the king of the slaps right about now. I don't think nobody ever gonna take that crown from him.
Yeah.
I think he surpassed Ike.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Hey, please don't take this the wrong way. He made domestic violence don't seem too rough for how his smack was. I mean,
you tried your best to work that person, but you could not make it make sense. But you tried. You said don't take this personally.
Domestic violence, good.
He knew he gonna be wrong.
Hey, I'm still full of energy right now. I ain't calm down yet, so my mouth is everywhere.
You ain't stick that landing, JP. I'm sorry.
Mike brought up a good point.
What'd he say?
Personally, if I don't agree with a person or their views, it's a wrap for me. I'm not playing it. Others may think, well, it's just music. So with cancel culture and music, we're talking about just music. Can you separate the person from the music?
I haven't listened to Trey Songz in a while.
It's still
so I guess I'm the exact same. So you still jamming.
It's still jam, just like before. Nah, man. So here's my thing. Being an avid, technology guy, and kind of seeing like the biggest impact to culture is people don't have no private lives no more. Like everything's made public. And if you think about when we was growing up, people we was listening to, you don't know what type of life they was living because they was.
We knew what type of life Michael Jackson was living. We still listen to this stuff.
And it took him being the most famous man on the planet 2 times over for us to really get a deep dive into his life. So I think a lot of people, just because the internet and social media didn't exist, they got to be whoever they want to be to you. And then you might find out later through some scandal that they was, they really was doing this and doing that. My thing is, for me personally, I'm old enough to separate the music from the deeds or whatever the person was doing, to an extent.
I think one of the things that we do is, I think we're able to accept a person's faults until those faults are made public. For example, if a person has an issue personally with you or done something to you personally and you didn't like, you may accept what that person done and kind of moved on. But once that thing becomes a public thing and everybody has an opinion on it, I feel like everybody's opinion changed on it. Because the thing with R. Kelly, and not just R. Kelly, R. Kelly is kind of an extreme case because his stuff is just crazy outlandish.
Mm-hmm.
But if you look at some of these other things and stuff that artists have done, or whether it's music or TV, a lot of this stuff, man, we was accepting before. Like the stuff with like Michael Jackson, people accepted that until he passed, and then they're like, yeah, he might have did it. What you mean might have did it? He done made a whole bunch of music and stuff. And And you know, until people really just sit down and say, oh, it's kind of a public thing now. Now everybody's like, yeah, he did it or didn't do that, or that person was involved in this, and we shouldn't do this. Now we should cancel it. Like, but a lot of this stuff, it's been out there. A lot of stuff you hear rumors about artists and stuff, and people be like, oh, no, man, ain't no big deal. Like the whole Chris Brown and Rihanna thing. Everybody know Chris Brown hit Rihanna. Yeah. She had the bruises and pictures and everything to prove it. He didn't even deny it. People still jam Chris Brown, just like he have
to this day
violence cases. You know, we just accept the things, and I'm not trying to compare what R. Kelly was doing with Chris Brown, but I'm just saying we accept the things that we want to accept until it's made a bigger problem, and then it's like, well, yeah, you're right, we shouldn't.
I think because Rihanna forgave Chris Brown, everybody else forgave.
Yeah, she didn't really kind of play the victim role that much.
She didn't harp on it.
Yes, because she didn't want that to be her main part of her main narrative no more.
And Rod, to like you said, we put up with so much till it grow into something big, but also we gotta look at how society is also pushing things. You know, like you said, a lot of stuff that people did back in the day, even though you do it was wrong, people still allowed it and just tried to cover it up. You know what I mean? And even when it did come out, it still said it's okay. You know what I mean? But now with people being more vocal, people are protesting a lot more. You know, society is changing now that, you know, if you sneeze wrong, you wrong. You know what I mean? So we're gonna highlight everything and a person does. You know, and not backing what they're doing is right, you know, but that's what we are now. Anything that you do is gonna be highlighted and blew out of proportion. No, not blew out of proportion. You know, anything that you do will be highlighted. So, but that's the society that we live in right now.
Yeah. Well, I think it's kind of like a dual-edged. It's kind of like a dual-edged sword, but in a good way though, because before it used to be this perfect image that you was presented, and you know, before the internet, if something bad came out about you, you know, it was kind of like in the hands of the people to kind of decide. You know, it wasn't like this, you know, mob type mentality where it is now, like where, you know, your career can rise and fall on Twitter in a day or something like that. But the other side of that too is with there being so much social media, so much video of people, and it being normalized, like you can be famous and still be a little bit more normal. Like you don't have to be picture perfect all the time. You know, I think about like Cardi B or, you know, some of these other famous people that are a little bit more comfortable sharing them just being regular. You know, I was on TikTok. I saw Megan Thee Stallion on there. She's like, yeah, I just wanted to wear my natural hair today and no makeup and stuff. And it was like, you have to be a stalker to see a star when we was growing up like that, because they always had on full makeup and hair, and you know, it was only like in a magazine ad or a TV spot or something like that. So I think it's normalized and humanized famous people a little bit more.
Yeah, I mean, you know, just like us, we have to. Famous people got to take some time out to be proud of themselves. You know, I understand that with fame comes, you know, a public view, but I mean, you still got to keep something at home. I ain't talking about illegal stuff, but I think some of the things that makes some of the artists most interesting is the stuff that you don't know about. You know?
Definitely.
And so, you know, if artists or anybody could just kind of keep that stuff to themselves, you know, I think it'll just make them, you know, a better or a more interesting artist from the jump.
Yep, or just more money on OnlyFans.
Hey, OnlyFans where it at now, man.
Oh yeah.
So here's a question that just because we talked about R. Kelly, and this may not be known with music. Most everybody saw the documentary about R. Kelly.
He did it.
No, I'm not asking if he did it because
He's in jail. The court said he did it. That's close enough.
But we saw that documentary from one side. Do we feel like, or do you feel like you need to hear R. Kelly's side of the story?
We heard his side of the story with Gail. I'm fighting for my life, Robert. we know everything they said was true because he ain't the plump fool.
I like all types of women.
When he tried to give his side of the story, he could not present that in a normal way at all. He said right there, "I'm fighting for my life."
So
whenever you refer to yourself in the third person, your chances of coming across as normal and lovable go down drastically. I'm Robert Kelly. I'm just a man.
I want to. Hey, Ryan, that's a good point. I think even though he made songs about all his encounters, you know, and his videos, yeah,
the little kids with my music out and running, take them out of town.
You know, so, but I think we should hear his side of the story, because for one, if he was sexually assaulted, like how they say he was growing up, then he really needs to be mentally evaluated. Now the stuff that he did was sick.
Yeah, I was gonna say that don't matter. I would say that's a whole different topic. Like, yeah, he can do that in addition to going to jail.
Yeah. Regardless.
I'm not saying he don't need to be in jail.
Yeah, okay. As long as we agree on that. He ain't crazy.
We need to do a better job in breaking the cycle, ain't right, JP?
Well, if he was sexually assaulted like he said he was, and you know he was pimped out like that, you know, you never know what make a person trigger. I mean, so I really
clear.
do.
Very clear in his case.
Is what
I said. It's very clear in his case would trigger him.
Well, that's the thing what JP is saying, you know, because he was doing this with a lot of younger women. But the whole ideal of younger girls, but the whole ideal from his standpoint, he was basically assaulted by an older woman. So he was basically doing what's done to him. You get what I'm saying?
And when he had like a yeah. And like his brother, didn't his brother or somebody mess with Uncle too? You know, I think it was like he was getting it from both sides of it, you know. So I don't know. Like I said, I don't know, but
yeah, like I said,
I still think
he got plenty of time. He could talk to somebody about that on the couch in jail. I'm telling you, JP, because right now, JP, you got on the music lover hat. Put on your daddy hat. Right? He getting off easy. If he did.
Oh yeah. Well, see, I'll be in jail before R. Kelly.
That's what I'm saying.
But y'all know those parents was making money off that. Yeah, that was
same thing with Michael Jackson.
I was telling somebody, I think it was today. I was telling somebody today that I felt like R. Kelly was 85% the fault, but the parents, it's like
they need to be getting charges too.
Yeah,
they want their money.
My child's 16, and you gonna tell me I can't see my child? You can forget that.
Exactly.
My child is 15, 16 years old, and in a different state with somebody I don't know, and for a long period of time on tour.
I don't care how many Grammys or whatever you got. My child can't come stay with your hotel.
Yeah, exactly.
But
see, now the internet, you got more options, right? You ain't got to do that. All thanks to the internet.
But the internet came out. R. Kelly was still doing this.
Nah, the internet it's built different now.
He tried to say the girls don't have to choose that path; they have other paths to go. Now they can do fans only and make their own money.
Hey, they can do TikTok. I just found out they can do Twitter.
Yeah, I agree. The parents were just as bad as R. Kelly.
Oh yeah, man. Everybody need to.
They should charge them, like you said. The parents, slap them too, and charge them with child endangerment. And see, that's why I said if I R. Kelly legal team, I'm going at their parents because they knew about it.
R. Kelly was fighting for his
Like I
life.
said,
R. Kelly didn't care about it. Nobody.
He said, "You ain't understand."
He said, everybody put no energy in nothing else but myself. I gotta make sure I don't go to jail.
R. Kelly
Y'all
said
don't
that's
live-
going to girls at him left and right because you don't understand. He was fighting.
Wow, man. I mean, the music industry, unfortunately, has been a very dangerous place for a long time where people can kind of get involved in some of the wrong things, you know, especially getting some of these videos that used to be on Uncut.
Oh yeah.
You know, who knows what these young ladies were doing when the cameras started rolling.
Oh,
Or
you
the-
know what they
and-
was doing. You
and
know
who-
exactly
and
what
I-
they was doing.
And we know
What
all
they-
them girls not over 18 years old.
Enlighten us, Eric. What were they doing?
Hey,
I
Rod,
don't know. I'm not way into the situation.
you a youngster. You can Google it. Me, Rod, and Terrence know what they was doing.
What's Uncut?
They-
Explain it. Explain it to the people in the back.
They did a lot of strange things for some change.
I'm telling
a
you.
whole bunch of things.
It's some stuff that wasn't that strange.
And a lot of it, they probably get any change.
And they got paid for the video. The
I'm
stuff they
telling you.
did after the video went on. There wasn't no money for that.
Paid for
Probably
being
get
there.
paid for the video. To be honest, they probably got to hang out with the star. That was their payment for a lot of them. That's the sad part.
But speaking of stuff like that, you know, there's a documentary coming out Saturday exposing Girls Gone Wild.
I heard about
Really?
that.
I think after the NBA Finals or something like that,
Yeah,
like Girls Gone Wild documentary.
that's crazy.
Oh, they all going to jail.
I mean,
Yes.
Hey.
Well, probably past statute of limitation, whatever it is. They can get it probably kiss some civil cases, possibly. Somebody else coming out. Me too.
if there's anything like Mr. Killer, it ain't past statute of limitation.
Yeah, R. Kelly still happened about 30 years ago, didn't he?
Well, that
I
ain't
think-
that ain't what he went to jail though. He went to jail 'cause he was still doing the stuff.
Yeah, he went to jail for racketeering and sex trafficking.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was he had federal stuff when he was
Uh-huh.
moving girls outside of state lines and transporting them like that. That was it. That was his main
Oh
thing.
yeah. Oh,
They got him on the federal level.
ran it up the flagpole on himself.
So yeah, that's what it is though. The
But-
music industry has most definitely changed a lot, especially with the advancements in the internet. You know, we went from stealing music from Napster and LimeWire, so now we are legally listening to it via Apple Music and YouTube Music and YouTube and other streaming services. So good job, people. We put the bootleg man out of here.
Oh yeah,
Out of
bootleg man
business.
stand a chance, man. He don't stand a
Small,
chance.
what's it? What small business? Small business going down again.
Small business, man.
Oh yeah,
Bootleg
you know,
man.
you small business in the music industry, it's a wrap for you. Unless you can let me listen to this new Kendrick Lamar album on my watch. It's a done deal, man. Ain't nothing you can do.
Yeah. Anybody else? Anybody in the comments? Anybody left? And fellas, y'all got any last comments about the music industry and the advancement of technology?
I don't know. That R. Kelly thing hard, man. If I still had to pay money for his albums, it'd be easy. Be a no-brainer. No,
Oh yeah.
I'm not gonna pay for it.
Not gonna
But
pay
you
for
can-
it.
but
But to
you
be
can
able to just
click
say,
off.
hey, play R. Kelly, and it just come up like that, man. I don't know.
This is my song for real. Oh,
Mm.
you know you still feel the groove with it.
I can see you. Y'all probably was singing it today.
I knew it was coming.
Hey, we, you know, I'm not gonna go in detail about it, but that was a interesting workout, and it was crazy. But you know, that's one thing people. I will say this. I'll go ahead. Eric.
I was gonna say it motivated y'all in a different way, huh?
Oh, shit.
That's all bad.
It's my raggedy phone, huh?
Yeah, you know, I mean, you ride through the country, so we understand that you ain't gonna have no service.
You leaving the city to the country.
It's funny because you dropped some child off. You've been riding for a while. You going deep.
A long while.
He sure is.
He went down the street.
Not around the corner.
That's why they flying JP around on jets and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, you know,
Sit right there.
They say you work hard. We see the amount of miles you got on your car.
Yep.
Exactly.
JP coaching them up. He's being a principal, a counselor, bus driver. He's doing it all.
Cafeteria worker feeding them.
I'm telling you.
Did you feed him tonight, JP? Did you feed him?
Yeah, you have to feed them.
It's 10 o'clock.
You gotta make sure they strong for lifting weights.
Got to be able to withstand that R. Kelly when it come on.
Hey, all they want, Taco Bell got this thing called a Chipotle milk. So that's all they holiday want. They want a Chipotle milk. So we went to Taco Bell and the line so doggone long for them to get a Chipotle milk. But, you know, like I said, some situations you hate to see them like that because when they go home, they ain't got nothing to eat. Yeah. So everybody was out there working for me, you know. Feel bad trying to drop them off like that. So we got to wait and get a Chipotle milk.
Oh.
Mr. J. Key, you got anything you want to say about the music industry? Because you came in.
That fella got on at 21 minutes. At least JP came on 10 minutes till.
I actually thought y'all wouldn't laugh no more, so I thought we were in the after show. So I was like, I'm gonna get to the after show and see what's going on.
Hey, I'm glad you checked yourself when you came in, Jake.
All right, fellas, if there's nothing else, anybody in the comments or anything, we thank everybody for joining us again in Apartment 4A. And like always, you ain't got to go home, but you got to get up out of here.
Yes, sir. Peace.
Take it easy.
I got my own room. In the end,